With sugar and spice and a roll of the dice, you're listening to The Dice Girls.
Oh no, it's a nat one.
You are both able to slip through this door in the wall, and it closes behind you, and there is another kind of handle on the other side. Things are definitely just much darker down here. I say down, so let me kind of amend it. You go through the wall, and then I'll say there's a tunnel that goes down. It's kind of almost like sewery. It's almost like you're in the sewers.
Mm-hmm.
It's a stark contrast to the bright and colorful bustling market above. The lights here are dim and flickering. Unlike above, none of the vendors are calling out to you. In fact, none of them even look you in the eye. It's really dingy. It's kind of smelly, like must and oil. It's also really noisy down here because every little sound echoes off the walls, and the drips from the steaming pipes above are just constant, chaotic background rhythm. It looks a little intimidating, to be honest. You do see two stalls that look, we'll say, the most approachable. You see a stand with some kind of flashing lights about it, almost casino-like. And you can see various potion vials of all different colors along a wall, just little vials. And you see a stout dwarven man with an eye patch and wild, wiry brown hair sticking out in every direction. And then you also see a stand that's draped in simple black nondescript cloth. There's a short figure in this stand wearing a cloth that's wrapped around his face. It's obscuring everything except for his eyes.
That's the more approachable vendors.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Shall we ask around and see if anyone knows Schnicktick? Can't say that name without laughing.
Good.
Yeah.
That was my point.
Why don't I take the lead while we're down here? Just a thought.
Yes, that's probably for the best.
Uh-huh. So
my vote is for the guy whose face we can see.
Okay, yeah. That was gonna be my question. Who should we? Okay, yeah. So Kaida is gonna turn to the bright shiny stand, to the dwarf with the eye patch, and approach him and just say, "Orthiax is looking for Crystal Fist. Do you know where he's at?"
He kind of grins up at you, Kaida, and you can see a few shining gold teeth. Roll me a persuasion check.
Okay, we're good. Persuasion. That's a 14 altogether.
Ooh.
All right. Okay. He grins up at you and he says, Schnicktick, huh? Well, what would that kind of information be worth to you, do you think?
Well, it looks like you've got some nice potions on the wall. Maybe I could buy a few of your wares.
He gives you another, gold toothy grin. And he says, "Oh, I'm not exactly running a shop here. This is more like, a game. Do you like to gamble?"
Not particularly, but if this is what the information is going to cost me, then sure.
All right. So the way it works is you pay me 5 gold pieces. You roll the dice. You get a random potion. Got to take a drink right here, right now. That's it. That's the whole game.
That actually does sound kind of fun. So, yeah.
What?
I'm down. Here's
Nice.
5 gold pieces for you, sir.
Did you say 10 gold
5.
pieces? Oh, I thought you said 10. I was going to say you're taking 2. All right.
I said 5.
All right. He takes your gold, and unlike the shops above, there's no cash register here. Your gold is just gone. He had it, and now you cannot see it any longer. He like turns around and he pulls out this big, like gaudy looking kind of dice. It's like a novelty dice basically. And he says, all right, you got to roll it. You got to roll it twice. The first roll is to determine if you get a good potion or a bad potion. Second roll is determine which one you get.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll me a D20.
That's an 11.
Okay. And now roll a D6.
2.
He hands you a little vial. He has a grin. He turns around, grabs a vial off the wall. And it is like an orange potion. It's got like a soft glow to it, kind of. And you can kind of see through it. It looks a little bubbly. And he hands it to you. And he says, bottoms up.
I'm drinking this like all the way down the hatch? The whole vial?
All the way down the hatch. Yep. It's like a vial. It's like a shot of potion, basically.
So Kaida's gonna shoot it.
Oh my gosh.
I love this so much. Kaida, you drink.
I'm scared.
You drink down this potion, and it tastes a little bit like bacon.
Okay.
And you suddenly have a sensation going over your body. And it's hard to describe, but you feel a little bit stronger.
Okay.
Oh.
And for our next session, you are going to get a +2 to your strength modifier.
No way.
Yes.
Cool.
Like from now until the end of our next session.
That's gonna give me a 0.
Since this one's just about there.
I'm not gonna be minus anything.
Yes. Love it. And the dwarf kind of grins up at you. Looks like that gamble worked out for you pretty well. What about you, ma'am? Would you also like to gamble? And he turns to Elana. Only 5 gold pieces, and you saw what it did for your friend. She looks pretty good. How you feeling, ma'am?
I feel pretty good.
Well, I suppose I could give it a shot. So to
right.
speak.
Wonderful. Literally. That'll be 5 gold pieces, please.
All right, I'll give him the 5 gold.
And again, the 5 gold disappears.
Okay, so I roll a d20 first.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 19.
Okay. And then a D6.
And then the d6. 6.
Okay. Oh, okay. I like this one. Elana, these are both really good ones. You roll, and the dwarf gets another big grin on his face and turns around to the wall. And he brings back a potion that is like a pale green color, and it has like little chunks of ice floating in it that are kind of just like moving around in it. And when he hands it to you, it's like chill to the touch. And he says,
Ooh.
Bottoms up.
She's gonna look at it, swirl it around, open it, and sniff it. And then with kind of a grimace, she's just gonna go ahead and just drink it.
Nice. It is super cold and going down your throat, and like I said, you are in a cold region, but suddenly you don't feel as chilly maybe as it was a couple minutes ago. And what this translates to is from now until the end of our next session, you have resistance to cold damage.
Ooh.
Nice.
I'm glad you both got good ones.
Yeah, I was scared.
When you said bacon, I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna turn into a pig. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. How are we gonna get me out of this?
Oh, too fun, too fun. Okay, yes. So, you have both now played this potion game, and this dwarven man, he looks up at you and smiles and says, "Looks like gambling paid off for the both of you today. All right, listen, Mr. Crystal Fist, he's right over there," and he like gestures with his head to the other stall that had caught your eye when you came in, with the short figure in it with his face mostly covered.
Hilarious.
All right. Well, appreciate doing business with you.
Come back anytime.
All right. So we awkwardly turn around and then just go up to the other stall.
That was fun, Kaida. I think I like gambling.
She makes a note in her notebook.
She pulls out her notebook and makes a note. Gambling equal good.
Yeah, Kaida's hands are back on her temples and she's just...
Oh, so good. I love it.
Yeah, so we approach the other guy and Kaida just says, Schnicktick.
And so all you can see are his eyes, his brown eyes, and they're like, he squints at you. They're kind of shifty eyes. And he's a shorter figure, and he does look up at you, and he says, I'm probably Schnicktick. Who's asking?
Probably.
Orthiax is asking. And then Kaida nudges Elana and says, "Give him the card."
Oh yes, we have this for you. And she hands him the card.
And he takes the card and he kind of like looks at it front and back, and he like bites it. I think that's only a thing you do with gold, but maybe he doesn't know that. Here it's different.
Maybe he just likes biting things.
Maybe he just has a taste for metal. You don't know. You just met him.
Well, I mean, he's also biting it through the cloth that's over his mouth. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He does. 100%. Just like... But yeah, he looks it over, and he looks back at the two of you, and he addresses Kaida, and he says, all right, Orthiax sent ya. Got it. Message received. Can do. Is there anything else good old Schnicktick can do for you this afternoon?
I love Schnicktick.
I don't think so. That was just Orthiax sent us down here to give that to you. So we have fulfilled our end of the bargain. So
he kind of looks you both over, and he says, "You know, I try to keep pretty good tabs on people around here, but I don't think I've seen the two of you here before. What brings you to my neck of the woods?"
We're new in town. I mean, I think we've both been here less than a week. We're just, perusing.
You've been here less than a week and you've already found your way down here, huh? Man, what kind of business are the two of you in? Must be something good.
Is Kaida gonna say something, or am I gonna butt in?
I don't think Kaida is thinking fast enough on her feet. And so
Okay, when Schnicktick asks what kind of business we're in, Elana goes and she opens her vest on both sides. And she goes, "Oh, I'm glad you asked, sir. I happen to be an artisan of sorts. Would you like to take a look at some of my wares in my vesty shop?" I have all sorts of knickknacks, gifts for loved ones. We have scents, we have messages, we have fun little toys, I suppose you could call them. Would you be interested in? And she looks down. Perhaps this one. And she grabs a like a smooth stone, and on it, it says "Live, Laugh, Love," and
Yes. I love this so much.
I can't believe I just wheezed like that. That was wild.
Beautiful. I love it. Yes. Here for it.
Always a good reminder to have.
Yes. Can you roll me a persuasion check, please?
Yes. Oh no, it's a nat one. I really wanted him to buy this Live, Laugh, Love rock.
I also very wanted him to love it. He so good. Schnicktick raises an eyebrow, like in a look of like, whoa, that was a lot. And then he also kind of looks around and he says, listen, I'm going to give you a free piece of advice from one clunker to another. You make these things yourself?
Yes, I do.
With what kind of magic?
I'm a bit of a fledgling artificer. Each of these items have been enchanted by yours truly. And crafted.
Now, I gotta tell you, you got some fine wares here. That Live, Laugh, Love, man, that got me right here. Right in the heart. And I know that artificery is legal now and it's all good, but just from one clunker to another, you might want to be a little careful who you're flashing your wares to. We just met. You don't know me. I could be an informant for a land who doesn't like artificery so much, and then where would you be?
Oh. Well, are you an informant for a land who doesn't like artificery very much?
If I was, would I tell you?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I sure wouldn't tell you.
No, Elana, he would not.
Well, I think I understand. Yes, I do know that artificery is still frowned upon in some places, but that's part of what I do. I want to show people that artificery is nothing to be afraid of, and it can bring good to the world. Perhaps you'd be more interested in another item. And she puts back the Live, Laugh, Love and starts looking around for a different thing to try to show him.
While you're rummaging around, he says, listen, sister, I understand better than most the struggles in trying to get your legitimate business to be respected by townsfolk who don't always understand what we do. I understand that better than most, but I don't. Good old Schnicktick doesn't have any extra cash lying around today, but come back again sometime, and I might be interested. Hang on to that little Live, Laugh, Love guy for me, will ya?
Oh, absolutely. I'll put this one in a special pocket to keep it just for you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Do come back and see old Schnicktick again, will ya?
You wouldn't happen to be an artificer yourself. I couldn't help but notice that you had said we, as in perhaps you are also a bit of a magical artisan.
Well, I was talking more about, just we're both kind of in a field that isn't always understood. I'm a bit of a handyman myself. I can do a little tiny bit of tinkering, but nothing like what you got going here. So just keep your nose clean, kid. And he kind of he turns to Kaida at this point and he says, all right, well, now I know what she does. What about you? What kind of business brings you down here to the Clunk today?
I'm just trying to keep her out of trouble. She's not making it easy on me.
It's an honorable job. Keeping your friends out of trouble. Doesn't get much better than that. And I'm please forgive me if this is too forward or rude. I'm mighty curious about your and he kind of like points to his face a little bit. You know, well, that's a mighty unique look you got going on there. I don't know why he just transitioned to a southern dude. Well, that's a unique thing you got going on there. I don't believe I've ever met anyone with such beautiful scales on their face like that. Do you mind? Is it okay if I ask you a couple questions about them?
You can ask. I can't promise that I'll answer, but
That's fair. I'm
fire away.
I want to be polite. Well, I guess my first question is where'd you get him? Where'd you get him? Why is he southern? I can't stand a New Jersey accent. It just continues to go southern. Where'd they come from?
They, they manifested when my magic manifested.
Huh. Well, that's real interesting. And he's kind of like, he doesn't want to make you uncomfortable. And so I think he's kind of like, he's nodding and he's satisfied with that answer. Well, I really appreciate that. What was your name?
My name is Kaida.
I really appreciate you talking to me, Kaida. And good looking out for your friend here. What was your name?
Oh, of course. How could I be so rude? My name is Elana. Elana. Do remember that name if you ever need any other trinkets or gifts.
Well, Kaida and Elana, it sure was good to meet you today. If this is your first visit, I don't know if I can recommend hanging out down here for too long. Can get a little shady down here sometimes. Not everyone's as friendly as good old Schnicktick here.
We didn't try to ask him like what he does yet, did we?
I don't believe
You
so.
kind of did.
Yeah, he kind of said he was like a handyman type. Okay. He kind of made it sound like he does a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Schnicktick, before we go, Kaida's answered one of your questions. I was hoping perhaps in return you could answer one of ours.
An exchange of information. I think I can get behind that.
Excellent. What kind of services are you offering for Orthiacs?
Oh, that was a great question. I am definitely going to need a persuasion roll for that one, though. That's a big question.
13. Would we say persuasion? Just 13.
Yep. Okay. So Schnicktick, he kind of like grins at you and cocks his head a little, almost like he's not surprised, but like impressed by the cleverness of the question. He's caught unaware. And he says, well, if that don't beat all, what a good question. You an interrogator or something? You're really good at that.
I have my moments.
As do we all. You know, you gotta know that the first thing I gotta tell you is there is some client and privilege, or client and now I can't think of the phrase. There is some client privilege here. Some sensitivity. I don't think I'd get much repeat business if I went around telling everybody else's business all day. I'm not Glura. And he says, but what I can tell you is that Orthiacs hires me to kind of share some information that he thinks that he believes good old Skywing might find interesting.
Oh, Skywing.
Yeah, you know, the Sapphire Dragon. So he says that Skywing is the Sapphire Dragon, and could I have both of you roll me a history check? We'll find out how much you know about Skywing.
A nat 20.
Dang! Okay.
And that one.
And then that one. Oh my gosh. That's so funny.
Polar opposites.
Yes. Okay. Oh man, that's hilarious. So Kaida, you know the Skywing is a dragon. It's kind of hard to remember. Like, it's been a while since history class, probably.
Yeah. And there's a lot of dragons.
Yeah, and there's a lot of dragons to keep track of. Elana, you know that Schnicktick is referring to Skywing the Fierce. He is the sapphire dragon, and he rules over... he rules in the foothill region to the south. He is like a military fighter type dragon. He is... his region is where the biggest portion of your land's like militia is based, and he is the one who kind of rules over them. He's very territorial and conflict driven. And for a nat 20, you know that Quinnen, the Emerald Dragon, is his sister.
Oh, would I know anything about their relationship by chance? Any history about?
Historically, they've been pretty close.
Okay.
Like, historically, you don't remember hearing about any major conflicts between them.
Okay. That's what I was, kind of looking for. So he says Skywing.
Yes. So, yeah, Schnicktick tells you that occasionally Orthiax thinks that there might be some interesting information that Skywing would like to have, and Schnicktick is kind of insinuating that he's the one that delivers it.
Okay.
And then he kind of continues and he says, but that's not the only thing I do. You know, I offer pretty much any kind of services a person could need. Like I said, I'm a handyman. I do a little bit of everything.
Since I know about Skywing being more of a fierce and conflict-driven character here, I think, so Elana's going to say, well, I almost turned Southern.
It's right in there, man.
I hope this isn't too forward, but I do feel I have to ask since, we've sort of involved ourselves in your business now with Orthiax. You wouldn't be in the business of hurting anyone, would you?
And he kind of like
for
rubs
Orthiax.
For Orthiax?
For Orthiax. He's, specifically for Orthiax, since he's already kind of saying that he does a little bit of everything.
I see. Oh no, my, again, a little bit of confidentiality, but, I would describe my working relationship with Orthiax as, purely paperwork driven.
Just the thought of dragons having paperwork that their minions have to do for them.
Right? Gotta file those quarter 2 reports.
Yeah.
Someone's gotta inventory the hoard.
Right. Good. Good. That's good to hear. I wasn't quite sure when we agreed to help Orthiax find you that I was a bit afraid that maybe we were I was a bit afraid that we were perhaps facilitating something that might be harmful for others. But it sounds like he and you are just knowledge workers for your respective dragons.
Just the messenger.
Oh, excellent. All right. Well, Schnicktick, it's been such a pleasure to meet you.
You as well, both of yins. Come back anytime, please.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything else for him. What about you?
Nope.
Like, I'm tempted, and I just kind of want to keep talking to him, but I don't think we have anything else to say.
Totally fair.
Yeah, I think at this point, like, after, like, learning this information, Kaida's ready to leave.
Fair.
Yeah. Okay, so Elana maybe even kind of glances over at her and realizes that maybe they're getting a little too dangerous territory for her to be in. Maybe they should skedaddle.
Totally fair.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure we'll be seeing you around, Schnicktick.
You got it. Let me know if you need anything, gals.
Then I guess we back away awkwardly.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So, the two of you are maybe like are you ready to leave the Clunk altogether? Is that the vibe?
Kaida is. I don't know about Elana.
Probably not, but I think in this situation she can gather that maybe it's not a good idea to stay.
Totally fair. So I had mentioned that there was kind of like a tunnel down into the Clunk. As you are going back up the tunnel, someone steps out of the shadows and says, "Give me your gold and there won't be a problem." And we're gonna end the session there.
Yep, uh-huh. Okay.
Oh.
I see how it is.